This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 26th day of October in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. One day after a video surfaced on social media of Guyana's High Commissioner to India, Charandas Prasad, verbally abusing a female Indian professor outside his official residence, President Irfan has announced his recall from the diplomatic position in India. In an announcement this morning, the president said he had a chance to review the video recording of the incident and immediately contacted the High Commissioner to India last evening. He said although Prasad claimed that the video did not capture all that took place, and although he also said he had been cleared of any wrongdoing, a decision was made for him to return home from his diplomatic position.
Notwithstanding this, I explained to Mr. Charandas that representatives of our country must, on all occasions, on every occasion, conduct themselves in the highest order and regard. Mr. Charandas then communicated to me that this matter was dealt with by the relevant agencies and authorities in India and that there was no evidence of any misconduct, and for a matter of fact, he was cleared of any accusation of sexual harassment. He also shared with me the letter that substantiated this statement. Notwithstanding all of this, Mr. Charandas agreed with me that in keeping with the best interests of Guyana and the image of Guyana, that he would return home from his posting in India.
The president also said the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the government of Guyana will continue to work every day to strengthen relations, not only with India, but with every other partner across the globe.
Mr. Charandas has agreed that he take full responsibility for his action and will return home from this posting, as I would have said. We are therefore going to take all official steps and measures to ensure a smooth transition and to continue to strengthen our work with India and to work on advancing the cause of Guyana.
The recall of Charandas Prasad comes less than 24 hours after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that the matter is a closed one, which took place more than a year ago and for which the claims made were not substantiated, according to Charandas Prasad himself. The APNU-AFC opposition called for the immediate recall of the High Commissioner yesterday and also strongly criticized the Foreign Affairs Ministry for its release on the issue. Opposition spokesperson on Foreign Affairs, Amansu Walton Desir, in a press statement yesterday, said Prasad's conduct was outrageous and disgusting and went against several principles connected to Guyana's treaty obligations as it relates to the treatment of women, diplomatic etiquette, and plain general decency. In the embarrassing video recording that captured part of the confrontation between the High Commissioner and the woman, High Commissioner Prasad was caught hurling several profanities at the woman as she sought answers about a homeless dog that she fed being removed from the area outside his official residence.
Are you any better?
No.
You're throwing out a helpless dog?
What helpless dog? I don't need a dog in my yard, alright? You want a dog, take it, put it between your legs.
You little bastard.
No, you probably want the dog to... That's what you want. I don't care. I don't care who you are.
I don't know who the hell you are.
You.
Yeah, dekha.
Now listen to me.
You're drunk. You're
Don't
bloody-
let any woman come in my yard.
You're bloody drunk.
Hello. You like the camera?
You don't understand.
The woman later filed a police complaint. The police report noted that the incident would not be covered under diplomatic immunity and goes against a number of existing laws in India, including laws about sexual assault against women and laws about insulting the modesty of a woman. Prasad was appointed High Commissioner to India by the current government in 2021. He was a member of parliament for the APNU-AFC government when it was in office, and he voted against the government in a no-confidence motion in 2018, which led to multiple court hearings and eventual elections that saw the ouster of the APNU-AFC from government. Charandas Prasad's appointment to the top diplomatic post in India was seen by political observers as a reward for his role that led to the no-confidence motion being successful successful and the former government eventually being booted from office. More news coming up in just a moment.
Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Saturday, October 29th, Grassman, Grambling, Sand Road, Suicide will come alive when 592 Movement in Highway Cafe. Present the big show and jam car. Chutney Meat Soap, the lineup top, Hikari Singh,
up and gone away.
Chomo Primo,
I live in my life.
Carvin Burnett, Bonito Willie, and Petty Kish will take the stage live. One Boy's Family, One Lake, and Silver Star's gonna juggle. Early bird tickets $1,000, gates $1,500. Chutney Meat Soca, Saturday, October 29th in Soesdijk.
Turning now to the oil sector, the ExxonMobil company has announced two discoveries at the Siflin 1 and Yarrow 1 wells in the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana, taking discoveries in the Stabroek Block to more than 30 since 2015. The company in a statement said it has ramped up offshore development and production at a pace that far exceeds the industry average. According to ExxonMobil, its unrivaled exploration success and accelerated pace of development in Guyana are a testament to its people, decades of experience, technology capabilities, and steadfast focus on optimizing all aspects of operations. The president of ExxonMobil Upstream Company, Liam Mallon, said the company is committed to responsibly and safely developing the world-class resource to help meet global demand for secure, reliable, and lower emission energy. He also said the investments through the pandemic have allowed the company to increase supply at this critical time, while creating value for the people of Guyana, its partners, and shareholders. According to Exxon, the Siflin 1 well encountered approximately 95 meters of hydrocarbon-bearing sandstone and was drilled at 4,616 feet of water. The Yarrow 1 well encountered approximately 75 feet or 23 meters of hydrocarbon-bearing sandstone. ExxonMobil's first two sanctioned offshore Guyana projects, Liza Phase 1 and Liza Phase 2, achieved an average of nearly 360,000 barrels of oil per day in the third quarter. A third project, Payara, is expected to start up by the end of next year, and the fourth project, Yellowtail, is expected to start up in 2025. ExxonMobil said it is currently pursuing environmental authorization for a fifth project, Uaru. By the end of the decade, ExxonMobil expects Guyana's oil production capacity to be more than 1 million barrels of oil per day. CARICOM and the African Export-Import Bank have signed an agreement for the establishment of a partnership between the bank and the regional body. The agreement was signed on Tuesday at the Cheddi-Jackal International Airport between Guyana's Foreign Minister Hugh Todd and the President of the bank, Professor Benedict Orama. President Irfaan Ali and Prime Minister of Barbados Mia Mottley, along with Guyana government officials, witnessed the signing. A statement from the Office of the President explained that the agreement aims to facilitate cooperation, support, and provide assistance of all types of nature to enable the promotion and financing of South-South trade between African countries and member states of CARICOM. Before the signing of the agreement, the Guyanese delegation led by the President and the Barbadian delegation led by the Prime Minister of Barbados met with a team from the African Import-Export Bank. The government of Guyana is proposing several sweeping changes to the country's electoral laws. According to the Attorney General Anu Nandlal, the proposed changes are as a direct result of the situation that took place at the last general elections, which saw the final results being delayed for months, as allegations of fraud were being hurled at each other by the political parties. In addition to proposed amendments to the Representation of the People's Act, proposed amendments are also being made to the National Registration Bill and the Representation of the People Bill.
One of the main purpose or one of the main driving factors in the amendments which are proposed to this piece of legislation is to further ensconce that continuous registration system and significantly to fix by law when the cycle is to stop for the purpose of claims and objection, and when the cycle is to start back running to register people all year round.
In response to a concern regarding measures to be put in place to combat unregistered deaths posing a threat to the credibility of the voters list, Mr. Nandlal said more than 90% of the deaths within the country are registered. He explained that the Elections Commission should always be in a state of readiness for elections.
Guyana has certain peculiar demographics that are intimately and intricately connected with elections. And we can't turn a blind eye to that political reality. So what these proposals have sought to do is simply to explain, to list some factors that the Chief Election Officer must take into account in identifying polling stations and how he will determine how many polling stations a polling place must have.
And directly responding to the calls to depoliticize GCOM, the Attorney General said the ongoing process will not address the structure of GCOM but statutory requirements.
That this exercise can't change the electoral system, it can't change the composition of GCOM, and there is a time and place for that. This is not that process.
Mr. Nandlal also told the forum that the system will be independent of elections and will always see GCOM in a state of readiness for elections, since the list of electors will be updated every 6 months. In addition to those amendments, the government is proposing to divide at least 3 regions into sub-districts. Regions 3, 4, and 6 will be divided into sub-districts, with each being distinguished by their names and acting independently. Region 3 will be separated into 3 polling sub-districts of Essequibo Islands and River, St. Lawrence to Cornelia Ida, and then Amstel to Arable Creek. Region 4 will be divided into 4 units, which will be East Bank to Marara, North Georgetown, South Georgetown, and East Coast to Marara. While Region 6 will be divided into 3 sub-districts, the East Bank Berbice to Kanji, Upper Quarantine, and Lower Quarantine. The Attorney General said those proposed changes could enforce greater levels of accountability and coherence in the electoral process.
The writers of this program are depending on my ethnic but non-threatening voice to explain things they are too lazy to set up traditionally. Only 2 months into the semester.
Marcus, I was watching that. What's the matter with you?
Noreen, why you have all these things plugged in, man? You really don't check them bills, you know? You know the cost of electricity?
Marcus, you can't be so ridiculous. That's the fridge. Why would you unplug the fridge?
I don't understand why the cost of electricity is so high in this country, man. Somebody has to do something.
Marcus, you know what I realize? Something is really wrong with you. How are we supposed to live without electricity?
Hello, just like our ancestors survived back in the days.
I will have you know, Marcus, Noreen Angela Melville is not cut out for that type of life.
And already the 9th Ivy League squad buzz with future Olympians and presidents.
Did you know the Gas to Energy project is expected to reduce the cost of electricity by up to 50%? Yes, that project will slash electricity bills in half. This will also unleash a tsunami of benefits for the manufacturing sector in Guyana.
Wow. Marcus, did you hear that? Electricity will be cheaper. Now, Marcus, for the love of God, plug the fridge back in.
For the admissions brochure.
Calling all prospective homeowners. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Housing and Water, will be rolling out its steel and cement housing subsidy program from Tuesday, October 25, 2022. Applicants must be a citizen of Guyana residing in the country, must be in possession of a title or transport for their house lot, must have an approved building plan and loan approval from a financial institution. Persons with a builder's estimate below $6 million can qualify for 1 sling of cement, 80 lengths of half-inch steel rods, and 63/8-inch rods. Those with builder's estimate ranging from $6 million.
Saturday, October 29th, Brassman, Grambling, Sand Road, Suzoi will come alive when 592 movement in Highway Cafe. Return the big show and jam car. Chutney meets out, the lineup top. Hikari sing.
Up and gone away.
Chomo Primo.
I live in my life.
Carlin Burnett, Bonita Willie, and Petty Kish will take the stage live. One Boys Family, One Lake, and Silver Stars gonna juggle. Early bird tickets $1,000, gates $1,500. Chutney meets Soca, Saturday, October 29th in Soosdijk.
Although a date has been set for the hosting of local government elections in Guyana, the opposition leader Aubrey Norton yesterday said his party has not stepped into campaign mode because the imminent elections is not the party's focus at this time. He said the party is instead using its energies to press for a new voters list.
The party is focusing first and foremost on a clean voters list. We will not be distracted by Dharamlal announcing some date. We are continuing to do our political work to be ready for any elections in this country. But for us now, our focus is on a clean voters list.
Mr. Norton also said the opposition will intensify its campaign to achieve a clean voters list. He said already the party has started its sanitization campaign and has involved civil society and other organizations.
We continue to picket the Elections Commission. We continue to raise with civil society and others. At present, most if not all of civil society are against the PPP approach of going into this election with a bloated list. We have been doing our work on the ground. We are sensitizing our people to the issue, sensitizing the public, and we will intensify our campaign to achieve a clean voters list.
The Guyana Elections Commission has already completed a claims and objections exercise for persons to make claims and objections to the voters list, an exercise that the opposition did not take part in.
We will ensure that this list is sanitized. Our focus is on, well, not sanitization, cleaning it, as for a matter of fact, and having a voters list that is reflective of the population. And that will be our focus. Any other thing will come at the time that we need to address it.
Local government elections last took place in Guyana in 2018. The Minister of Local Government, Nigel Daramlal, recently announced that local government elections will take place on the 13th of March 2023. The Ants Grove woman who was badly burned by her husband a month ago after he killed their son and before he took his own life has succumbed to her injuries. The woman, Sharon Scott, passed away at the Georgetown Hospital earlier this week, never recovering from her injuries. She was badly burned to the body by her husband, Leon Bob, at their Ants Grove East Coast Demerara home back in September. The man went berserk, first attacking and stabbing their 21-year-old son to death before turning his rage to his wife and setting her alight. The 49-year-old killer, Leon Bob, later ingested a poisonous substance and died while his wife was hospitalized and the son was placed in the morgue. Distraught family members were hoping that the woman would have recovered, but her injuries were severe, and despite the best efforts of the medical team at the hospital, she lost her battle. It remains unclear what triggered the deadly attack, although villagers said the man had been abusive to his wife for a number of years. The local Hydromet office has issued a weather warning for the next 2 days. According to the Hydromet office, a tropical wave coupled with the intertropical convergence zone is expected to impact Guyana from the morning of Thursday until Friday. The combination of the systems is expected to intensify rainfall activity across most of Guyana, but particularly coastal and near inland regions. The systems are embedded within areas of very high moisture, supported by atmospheric dynamics of strong low-level convergence and with a strong diffluence pattern in the upper levels. The Hydromet office said weather conditions are expected to deteriorate significantly as the systems move across and develop over Guyana. Frequent to continuous showers, rain and thunderstorms varying from moderate to heavy are anticipated across regions 1 to 7 and region 10. Periodic high-intensity rainfall events are anticipated over coastal areas during the early morning hours. Rainfall is anticipated to be in excess of 80 millimeters within a 24-hour period, with the highest rainfall values expected over coastal areas on Friday. Regions 8 and 9 can expect cloudy skies with scattered showers. 24-hour rainfall expected to range from 10 millimeters to 30 millimeters. And during the period, seas will be moderate to rough, with northeasterly to easterly swells reaching heights of 2.5 meters to 3.0 meters in open waters. The Hydromet office said the combination of intense rainfall and above normal high tides is likely to result in flash flooding in low-lying and poorly drained and riverine areas. Persons in those areas are asked to take necessary precautions against the flooding.
Oh my God! What the shit is my ear, so I left I'm gonna go for dead in.
Hey, call an ambulance. Mommy, me get credit.
Oh my guy! Hey, this.
Hello. Hey.
Hello. Yes. You don't understand the man get shot in the chest. He lay down right there, he dying, yeah. And he'll, but you don't understand, I see nothing more, I see when this car drive past and shoot his man in his stomach. The man lay down in front of me here right now, rolling. Oh my God, hey, people, watch what go on here, sir. They shoot this poor boy here, so oh my God. This is what this country go on with, dog. This is what the poor thing. Nobody not even help the boy. They just sit down here, so not take pictures, so this is what people can go through in this life here, so what? Oh.
I'm bleeding out.
Hey, shut your mouth! Shut up! You don't see me there live, but tell people go on, eh?
Tell the ambulance.
But like you know, here, shut your mouth, eh?
It's nothing to laugh about. Part 13.
We counting we from region 1 to region 10, the whole country.
We've just completed our census interview. It's quite a simple process. Whenever the team comes to your home, kindly cooperate and get the interview done, because it's also important for the information to be available to us as a government to plan and implement our programs and projects for the development of Guyana, a development that you will benefit from.
We counting we from region 1 to region 10, the whole country.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
Rooms and more, Republic, a brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come through and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus one lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn someday into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Venezuelan politicians are discussing proposals for a fund that could release over $3 billion to provide humanitarian aid to Venezuela through the United Nations, in a process that also involves officials from the U.S. State and Treasury departments. The proposals offer a potential way to revive stalled political dialogue in Venezuela and come as more Venezuelans try to reach the U.S., creating clashes among U.S. politicians over immigration. Migrants arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border are prompting discussions on unfreezing Venezuelan funds held in foreign banks that would provide needed food and medicine, sources told the Reuters news agency. According to the National Survey of Living Conditions conducted by Venezuelan universities, 94% of Venezuelans were living last year in poverty, while over half experienced moderate to severe food insecurity. In Jamaica, more than 50 immigration officers at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency are reportedly on strike over a contentious interdiction process, a special allowance, and alleged mistreatment. More than 180 immigration officers are employed by the agency. The impact on the public and traveling services at the airports is not immediately clear. The General Secretary of the National Workers Union, Granville Valentine, said the workers had called in sick. He said line staff for one shift had reported that they were feeling too unwell to turn up for work. Some of the affected divisions include shipping, deportation, border management, and extension of stay. The officials said the reports have come from workers based in Kingston, but the situation is expected to spread to Montego Bay and other parts of Jamaica. And finally tonight, international news. Germany's coalition government has agreed on a plan to legalize recreational marijuana use among adults. Possession of up to 1 ounce for personal use would be allowed. Licensed shops and pharmacies would sell it. The plan still requires approval by the European Commission and German Parliament. Health Minister Karl Lauterbach said the plan could become law in 2024. In the EU, only Malta has legalized recreational marijuana. The Netherlands has not gone as far as the German plan on the Dutch law. The sale of small quantities of marijuana in coffee shops is tolerated. The German plan would also allow home cultivation of 3 cannabis plants per adult. The move was envisaged in the coalition government's manifesto announced last year. The Social Democrats lead the coalition, with the Greens and Liberal Free Democrats as partners. Several countries have legalized limited use of medical marijuana. Canada and Uruguay have also legalized recreational cannabis. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.